Regal Premier game, Regal Trophy game between Keighley and Hunslet. The teams for Keighley: number 1, Jeff Butterfield; number 2, John Wasilow; number 3, Phil Stevenson; number 4, Arthur Johnson; number 5, John Walker; number 6, Keith Dixon; number 7, Andy Ayres; number 8, Greg Hiley; number 9, Paul Moses; number 10, Steve Hall. With the second row, number 11, Colin Hanford, and number 12, Carlton Paddle, and number 13...
John Wasilow for breaking the Keighley record last week of 26 points. He's getting presented with a tanker from the supporters club. Big hands for John, please. Come on.
Number 13, Nick Cables, and number 14, Heath Grodfrey, and number 15, Aaron Fallela. And as I speak, a tankard is being presented for John Wasilow for breaking the club record last week. A tankard presented by the supporters club. Now the Hunslet team: number 1, Steve Campling; number 2, Andy Raw; number 3, Alan Daniel; number 4, Andy Bartliff; number 5, Brian Waite; number 6, David Brook; and number 7, James Lowes; number 8, Matthew Steele; number 9, Roy Sampson; and number 10, Keith Bell. Second row, number 11, Mick Coyle; and number 12, Danny McKelvey; and the loose forward, number 13, Paul Carr, with subs number 14, Andy Simpson, and number 15, Andy Precious. And the referee this afternoon, P. Crashley from Wakefield. And I noticed that in the Hunslet team, Andy Precious is playing, is the second sub. He was a player in the league game at Hunslet who kicked quite a number of goals and had quite a good game. And I'm rather surprised to see him at sub today, unless, of course, he's been injured. But there goes the whistle. Hunslet to kick off. It's a deep one, fielded over the line by John Walker, and he's tackled in possession. So Keighley with the ball, and no doubt it'll be the forwards doing their usual charges, testing out the opposition in the opening stages of this game. And that's taking play to the 25 line, and that's Steve Hall there with a good run indeed. Takes play a good 15-20 yards, and it'll be Keith Dixon to kick. Good long kick, the ball running well, and fielded there by the Hunslet fullback, who's tackled in possession. And so it's Hunslet with the ball on their own 25. And the Hunslet team, rather difficult to distinguish. The numbers on the back are in yellow, which merges quite a lot with the jerseys they're wearing. But in the opening stages of this game, of course, it is the forwards who are just testing each other out. But this will be a kick. It's a long one, but it won't found touch. Caught by Wasilow. Well fielded there. Keighley in possession. Ball out there to Jeff Butterfield. Butterfield tries to cut inside, but at this stage in the game that wasn't really on. And the forwards playing a very close, tight game. Oh, and a lovely dummy there by Paul Moses. Sold a lovely dummy there. Just couldn't get the ball away after that, but nice play indeed. Now the ball moving across the field. No, it isn't. It was Greg Hiley. Difficult ball to hold, and he was tackled in possession. Dixon. Dummies as if to kick, don't do so. Going for the line. Puts in a pass. In the corner. Yes! Is it? Yes, in the corner. What a good opening for Keighley, and that was Keith. John Walker had it to finish. It wasn't an easy one to finish. He needed all his weight and power to get over in the corner. But the initial break was made by Keith Dixon up the centre of the field on the 5th tackle. Everyone thought he was going to kick. He sold a gigantic dummy and broke straight up the centre of the field. John, your comments on that one?
Well, yes, just as the game was starting to be settling, the two sets of forwards sorting themselves out and testing each other, the ball went back into the centre of the field, and Greg Hiley, really, who slipped in the centre spot where it's quite soft, lost his footing, put the ball out there to Keith Dixon, and as you say, Jeff, sold an outrageous dummy and split the defence asunder. John Walker screaming up the right-hand wing, shouting for the ball. It was all to do, though. It wasn't easy. He had to score it, but his strength and his pace took him through the Hunslet defence to go in about a yard from the corner flag. Excellent start for Keighley.
Yeah, well, thank you, John. And, of course, that's after only 3 minutes. And in a game of this kind, it's always as well to get the first score. It gives the team confidence. And Wazilo kicks. Oh, and just shades the far post. A good effort, just shades the far post. So, after 3 minutes in this game, it's Keighley 4, Hunslet 0. And that will certainly have given Keighley some encouragement. And we wait while Hunslet take this kick, the ball having fallen over. It's a good long one, caught by Carlton Faddle. Runs upfield, runs into trouble, but takes the ball to the 25 line. Moses, pass out there to Colin Hanford. Nice strong run. Dummy there, out to Mick Keebles. Mick Keebles still going. Some fierce tackling by Hunslet, but the Keighley team making progress. And it's Keith Dixon who kicks again. They weren't expecting that. It was only about the second or third tackle. And that pushes Hunslet back upfield. And a good tackle there. And that puts Hunslet back inside their own 25 line. And this is where Keighley want them, up in that part of the field. And a good tackle there. Hunslet aren't making any progress. The forwards at the moment trying to find a way through. But there's some good cover there. Some good tackling. 3 people taking the player each time. And this looks like a kick. And both sides not letting the ball go the full 5 tackles before the kick. Ball picked up by John Walker. He won't find a way through, but it's a determined run. Very strong player, this wingman that Keighley have signed, Walker, very determined. And that's the trialist Arthur Johnson there, who, a nice run. And it's Andy Ayres. Oh, so nearly gets through in the middle of the field, but not quite. Now Dixon. Pass out there to Keebles. Keebles cuts inside, lets the ball go. Loose on the floor, picked up by Carlton Faddle. Rushes out to 2 tackles. Oh, the ball going on the far side of the field. It's Stevenson running up. But Wazilo had come inside him, unfortunately. If Wazilo had stayed on the outside, there was chance of opening that up. Dixon. And a good cover tackle there on Dixon. He'd beaten the first line, but he couldn't get through the second line. Now it's Ayres, and up and under. Keighley certainly varying their tactics this afternoon. No question about that. Good variation in tactics by Keighley. And certainly, Keighley playing with a lot of enthusiasm and skill.
Come on, work the line!
And Hunslet moving that ball across the line. And a drop pass, and the ball rolls straight into touch. So it'll be a scrum down, Keighley head and ball. Play on the far side of the field, just outside the Hunslet 25. Andy has to put the ball in, but that ball looked to have collapsed a long time before the ball went in. Keighley don't look to have the weight at the moment, but Keighley been penalised for not packing down. I take that signal to mean that one of the Keighley props hasn't got his head down. And so it's Hunslet in possession now. Unfortunate decision for Keighley there. And oh! So nearly a knock on then. Hunslet in possession. Break down the middle of the field. A good tackle there by Hanford. In the right place, round the ankles, fetched the player down, and the cover was there to take him. And And Hunslet now, a long pass, moving that ball across, but some good cover tackle coming up there. And I think there'll be a kick. There's a little chip through. Oh, Moses went for that ball, but unfortunately didn't get it. It's the 6th tackle, so they've got to kick again. Somebody tries a drop goal. It looked like the number 6, David Brook, but it was well wide of the mark. Didn't leave the ground above 5 or 6 feet, and so it's back to the 25 line. And a tap. Moses out to Steve Hall. Steve, with 3 people round him, refuses to go down. Back inside to Hanford, and Hanford meets a brick wall and he goes straight down. So Keighley made no progress from those 2 play the balls. They're going to have to try something different, Ayres. And a drop pass there. Somebody took their eye off the ball. I think it was Arthur Johnson, the sub, because Walker looked as though he would have been clear then. Keighley moved the ball across quite quickly and he took his eye off the ball. And offside Hunslet. In the centre of the field, free kick to Keighley. About 9 minutes gone in the first half of this game. Keighley leading 4 points to 0. And a good kick for touch, but he hasn't found it. And Keighley can't afford to do that. They've got to make sure with these kicks. This gives Hunslet possession. And if Keighley don't get possession soon, Hunslet have had it for the last 3 or 4 minutes. Hunslet will begin to come back into this game, and so they need to make sure of possession. What a break there! Oh! And it's a Keighley ball. Out to Jeff Butterfield. Luckily for Keighley, the pass went astray. So Keighley ball. Hanford on the far side. Nobody in support, but a good run. Bad play the ball there. Moses was lucky to get that. Steve Hall gets it, changes direction, tries to cut through, can't do so. And that was a play the ball wasted, one feels. Pass out to Walker on the wing. Walker cuts inside. Good run by Walker. Good run, cut inside, beat 2-3 men, made some good ground, good play. Dixon going to kick for touch. It won't find touch, but it'll push. Oh, it will. It will. Good bounce for Keighley. Pushes Hunslet right back to 10 yards from their own line. Keighley must make sure they pack down correctly this time, although it is a Hunslet head and ball. Scrums go down. And it's Keighley ball, handing out. Free kick to Hunslet. Well, that's 2 scrums we've had, and on both occasions Keighley been penalised. So it strikes me the less scrums we have this game, the better. Kick for touch. Safe. And pushes Keighley back. But of course, once again, Keighley without possession. So it's Hunslet with that ball. And at the moment, it's the forwards trying to find a way through and moving the ball across field, but not getting away with it. And a gap in the middle of the field there. Oh, and a hand trip, luckily for Keighley. They're going to have to watch this. Breaks in the middle of the field. The defence looked a bit thin there, round the base of the play the ball. Keighley going to have to watch that. And we're on the 6th tackle. Oh, and a pass back there for someone to kick. What a dreadful pass. Wassilo has the ball. Can't beat his opposite number, but it's safe. Now Keighley have got the ball. What can they do with it? I hope they're not going to lose it this time. And it's Phil Stevenson who's trying to find a way forward, but isn't really successful. And back to Keith Dixon. Oh, kicks again. Oh, what a good long kick that one is as well. Right up to the Hunslet try line. So it's Hunslet in possession. Hunslet in possession on their own 25 line, but at least Keighley are keeping them back in this part of the field. Good tactical play on Keighley's part. Good tactical play. And at the moment, the game's developed into a series of forward rushes. Oh no, the play's opening up on the far side. Oh, and a good tackle there by Phil Stevenson. Just pulled down his opposite number and broke up that attack. Kick. It's a good one, and it's found touch right on the Keighley 25 line. And it's a Hunslet ball. No, offside, penalty. Now, what was the infringement there, John? Did you notice?
Yes, after the Hunslet man had kicked the ball through, he was taken out by the Keighley player.
Well, thank you. I was following the path of the ball, and I must admit I didn't see that. So that's Hunslet in an attacking position for the first time in this game, inside the Keighley 25 line. Now, what are they going to do with it? Oh, and a nice slip pass there. But it didn't work. Keighley were watching that, but they're going to have to watch now. And the Keighley defence looks thin on the far side if Hunslet switch play, but no, they move it this way. Oh, dear me, what bad tackling there. That was the number 6, David Brook, who ran right across the Keighley line. Several pairs of hands came out to him, but they couldn't pull him down. And this looks dangerous. This looks dangerous as it got over. He has. And this could well put Hunslet in front. The tackling wasn't good by Keighley there.
Hunslet scorer, number 13, Paul Carr.
They let Paul Carr, the loose forward, have room to move, and not only has he scored, but he's scored near the posts. And I make it with 15 minutes gone in the first half of the game. That looks like Hunslet will go ahead at this particular point. And it's the Hunslet number 7, James Lowes, who's going to try and add 2 further points. Any comments, John, about that try?
Well, yes, really, it was standoff David Brook, wasn't it? He turned the Keighley defence, wrong-footed them really, coming this side, and he decided to go back inside as Lowe now takes that. Brook, the conversion, he came back inside and wrong-footed the Keighley defence, in fact. But I reckon it was Mick Coyle that scored, although the public address said Paul Carr.
Well, we'll not argue about that one. The point is, Hunslet have scored, and they're now leading by 6 points to 4. Rather disappointing, because Keighley have had most of the play in the Hunslet half of the field, although they haven't had most of the ball for the last 5 or 6 minutes. And Hunslet, obviously, are dangerous, as we well know, otherwise they wouldn't be at the top of the table. But Keighley are going to have to watch the defensive play. I think we can match them attacking-wise, but we've got to watch the defensive play. And a good ball let go there. So Hunslet with the ball inside their own half of the field. And a good run there by the forward. And a kick. It's a long raking kick. There's no cover down here. It's going to find touch. It does. And it will be a scrum. It'll be Keighley head and ball, but we've only had 2 scrums, and in both cases Keighley being penalised. So let's hope this time we can get it right. And Andy Ayres did get penalised once last week for not putting the ball in straight. But it's all right this time. He comes away with the ball, tries to find a way through, looking for the loose forward on the inside of him, and the loose forward wasn't there. He was available to pass it, but nobody there to pass to. And a nice play forward there by Steve Hall, who wasn't marked. And that's moved play up quite a bit. Keith Dixon to kick again, but the whole of the Hunslet team offside. So it's a free kick, and Keith Dixon must make sure that this one goes into touch. He does. So it's a Keighley ball. Moses to take it. Now what are Keighley going to do now? Dummy run one way, then another. Andy Ayres trying to find a way through. Not successful. And it's Carlton Farrell. Still going strong. Still going strong, but doesn't open up. I thought they would have opened up play then. Moses to Ayres. Ayres dummying. Out to Mick Cables, coming up on the burst on the inside. Dixon. Greg Hiley. Oh yes! Here's Stevenson! Oh yeah! Hey!
Mr. Johnny Walker.
Well, I must say this is the sort of play we haven't seen from Keighley for many a week. Insensible, intelligent play, moving that ball out, and there it was Phil Stevenson who did the right thing and lobbed an overhead pass to Mick Walker for Mick Walker to go in the corner. And of course this now puts Keighley back in the lead. 8 points to 6 with a chance for another 2, but it's not an easy kick. But if Keighley continue playing this sort of football, then they're going to get plenty of support. The try, John.
Yes, Jeff. In fact, it was simplicity itself, wasn't it? Keighley just moved the ball across the field. The gap was created when Stevenson threw the overhead ball. There was 2-2 situation, 2 Hunslet defenders to the 2 Keighley coming forward. Missed out the other centre, put it over to Walker, who banged the ball down in the corner, tried to get a bit further infield, but now Wasilow's attempting this conversion from about 5 yards in, and it's good. In fact, the crowd say it's very good.
Well, that's 10 points to Keighley, 6 to Hunslet. And I think the big difference, John, is that the ball's moving quicker from the play of the ball and giving the three quarters a much better chance than they have had previous.
Yes, it's nice to see this ball moving wide and moving quickly. Sometimes it seems to be a little bit slow, but when Keighley really do move the ball wide and quickly, they are very, very dangerous. I'm very impressed, in fact, by the way in which they're handling as well today. They've made very few mistakes with that ball, and it's not the best of conditions. It may look okay, but it's not the best.
And a very strong run there by Walker, John Walker, who just brushed off a Hunslet forward, and there's a little bit of a tussle going on there. And it's a free kick to Keighley, not getting away from the person playing the ball. I thought that was going to develop into a little stand-up fight. Well, I make that 20 minutes gone in the first half of this game, and Keighley with the ball, Mick Keeble at the moment. Somebody's lost a boot, he's lost the boot, he doesn't know where it is even at the moment. Hanford a good storming run, back to Moses, across to Hiley. Moses again juggles with it, can't keep hold of it. Keighley in possession, and at this stage I hand you over to John Blezart to continue the commentary.
Thank you, and as Steve Hall gets up to play this ball just outside the Hunslet 25, are we going to see another good move from Keighley to get extra points on the board? Carlton Farrell there, just getting inside the Hunslet 25. Paul Moses at acting half, moving that ball out to the left. That's a chip kick for the winger to chase. Unfortunately, just can't get to it, so the ball goes into touch, 10 yards from the Hunslet line, as the floodlights come on here at Lawcombe Lane. That's out to Hunslet then. This ball coming across field quickly, but begging to come across much quicker than it did. Opted to go in, but it looks like Keith Dixon there penalised for not allowing his opposite number to get up and play the ball. And that takes a lot of pressure off the Hunslet defence. Number 4, Andy Barcliffe, it will be to put this ball into touch just outside his own 25. Hooker Roy Sampson then. Certainly the open side prop, Matthew Steele, seems to be their ball distributor in the front row, turning in the tackle and offloading. But Danny McKelvey there getting just short of the halfway line for Hunslet. 4 tackles gone. Loose forward, and according to the Tannoy, the try scorer for Hunslet, Paul Carr. That's 4 tackles now, says Mr. Crashley. A little bit of a juggling attempt there by scrum half James Lowes. Last one this time Ball going to be put up high by number 10, Keith Bell. It's a good kick, well taken by John Walker on this wing. This ex-Hockley Rugby Union winger certainly having a good game this afternoon. Very strong player, but bundled into touch there by a couple of Hunslet players. Losing the advantage, and it's head and ball this time to Hunslet. Referee just waiting for the ball to come back before. That's in and out, loose forward. Paul Carr takes it from the base of the scrum. Struggles out to the first tackle. It's a yard from that Keighley line now. The ball coming out to this near side. Tackled and almost thrown away from the floor there by the Hunslet player, but the referee quite happy to let it go on, but that ball's gone into touch. Indicated by the touch judge that it was a Keighley foot that put it into touch, but the referee just questioning in fact the referee having changed the decision indicated by the touch judge, saying that he thought it was a Hunslet man. He's got the whistle, and so he says what happens, and that ball's coming out now then to Keighley. Mick Keebles this time, looking for that 25-yard line as he comes up the field. Paul Moses at acting half, gets that ball across there to number 11, Colin Hanford, as he gets outside. A nice ball out there to Stevenson at the far side. It's John Wazzolo trying to get to some forward motion going, but not able to. Ball back then this time. It's booted upfield, a long kick upfield. Just needs a little bit of a left-hand kick there to have taken it into touch, but not so. But the Keighley players there up in strength in numbers, keeping Hunslet pinned back in that 10-yard line area. Keighley will just have to be very careful here that they stay on side, because Mr. Crashall will be looking for those men offside and just creeping up too quickly. But that's 3 tackles gone now. Hunslet coming away, breaking through the first tackle there, but managing to be brought down by Arthur Johnson. Here comes the kick. And fullback Jeff Butterfield doing the Bobby's job down there, runs across the centre of the field, through the centre spot, 10, 12 yards inside the Hunslet half of the field before eventually being brought down. Ball moving out now. Stevenson just tackled midway between the halfway line and the 25-yard. Paul Moses, Steve Hall getting that ball, driving it in. He's hauled back by 2 Hunslet tacklers. Not being allowed to get up by Roy Sampson, but the referee is not particularly interested in it at the moment. And Sampson and Hall just exchanging a few words there as the ball comes back to the same spot again. Then Moses. Hiley gets that ball out. Oh, and that was almost a move there for Keighley to get through the gap. Last tackle indicated by Mr. Crashley, but it was standoff Keith Dixon who attempted the drop goal, but again, like the Hunslet attempt earlier on, it hardly got above grass height. Hunslet then a couple of yards outside their own 25. Again, it was Matthew Steele who almost managed to get that ball away as he was tackled. Here comes the kick again, noticing that the wingman's off, but it was a very good kick, was that. 2 Keighley's players coming, sorry, 2 Hunslet players coming downfield like trains. John Walker again just taking that ball inside. Wisely takes the tackle, allows his forwards to get back and reform. 10 yards then from the halfway line. As Keighley come forward once more, Mick Keebles barely making the advantage line of the tackle, but the ball's put back there for Dixon to put upfield to this near side, but it's not going to go into touch. It's Brian Waits, the winger, who takes that ball, but he doesn't get very far before he's brought down. Plays the ball to himself, no marker present. Gets another 10 yards. Hunslet going to kick once more. This time it's James Lowe, puts the ball across to the far corner of the field, down into the 9-hole. Jeff Butterfield then. 10 yards from the halfway line. Some 30 minutes of this game having gone. Ball moving across field this time. Hiley gets the ball across there to Carlton Faddle. He gets 10 yards inside the Hunslet half of the field before he's brought down. Ball moving out quickly this time. Mick Keebles gets that ball out to Walker. Walker's going up and he's got this crowd here on the feet. A beautiful piece of interpassing there for Keighley. Sees the loose forward. Mick Keebles going for what I believe is his first try since signing for Halifax. But what a lovely piece of interpassing there. The crowd really came to its feet when John Walker got the ball. He put the ball back inside and it came back outside again for Keebles to crash over and put Keighley into a fairly commanding lead at this stage with 32 minutes gone. Very difficult to say anything more about that. I don't know whether you want to say anything about that, Jeff, but absolutely top draw try.
Well, I can only say I haven't seen Keighley score a try like that for many a season. That was really copybook rugby. Passing, backing up, intelligence, thought. A real try, that. One of the best.
Indeed, Jeff. I think that will be talked about for many a year to come. Certainly the crowd here is absolutely buzzing. The Hunslet contingent over the far side, somewhat quiet. So then John Vassallo, left foot kick from this near side. 2 out of 3 so far. Oh, and that looks as though it's going to pull in, and another super try. Absolute superb kick that too, put the icing on that try. 16 points to 6, 33 minutes gone. As the mist begins to drift across the ground here. Lowe's then kick restarts for Hunslet. The ball just hit Greg Hiley's feet. He lets it go back to Carlton Faddle, who runs across the front of his post looking for a way forward. Did extremely well there, running across the front of the post. Very dangerous position to be in. Certainly not one where you need to make mistakes. Paul Moses, ball going back again to Dixon for a kick upfield. Keighley have well upfield chasing this ball. It's the full-back Steve Camplin who gets it. Gives a suspicious looking pass there to his winger, and I'm not sure his winger was right pleased about it either. On the just outside the Hunslet 25 then, Keighley. Certainly I feel there's been some smartings after the defeat at Scarborough, and it looks very much like the changes possibly that have been made, or the words that have been said, are certainly having tremendous effect out there on the field this afternoon. Hunslet being driven back there, 10 yards. It's the last tackle indicated by Mr. Crashley. Ball going down. Jeff Butterfield there to take it. Going to run straight into the reception committee there from Andy Barcliffe. Keighley plays back. Certainly that player there who took the tackle looked to me to be offside. Hooker, Roy Sampson, and Greg Hiley. Referee giving a decision there for obstruction by Andy Ayres running across the tackler. No, Barcliffe then, just to put this ball into touch. Takes play to a couple of yards inside the Keighley 25. Sampson then gets that ball onto McKelvey as drives towards the line. He's brought down about 5 or 6 yards short of the Keighley line. Sampson gets the ball out. Little run round here. Paul Carr there, heaved onto his back as he was about to part with the ball. Fortunately for him, he kept hold of it. Keighley needs to cover here on. That's a bad mistake there by Hunslet. Didn't take the pass, nudged the ball forward in doing so. Scrum down just inside the Keighley 25, heading ball to Keighley, and hopefully the ball should come out to Keighley's side and help them just to take away, and it's a penalty to Keighley for Hunslet going down too soon. That's a penalty relieving kick then as far as Keighley are concerned. As Dixon puts the ball into touch. 5 yards inside the Hunslet half of the field. Paul Moses, Steve Hall. Steve Hall came to the right and then straightened up, and he gets brought down midway between the halfway line and the 25. Mick Keebles going inside again, 10 yards from the 25. Oh, that's a half break there, created into a full break. Oh, well, it's a knock-on in actual fact, but it's an injury, and in fact it looks quite a serious injury as far as the player's concerned. He's writhing about in agony there on the floor. I don't know who the player is that's down, Jeff.
I think it's Ayres.
You think it's...
I can't see Ayres anywhere.
We think it may be Andy Ayres. It's difficult to see because we can't see the number on his back at the moment. It is in fact Andy Ayres, yes.
It was in that move there when he kicked the ball. There seemed to be a collision of about 3 players.
Yes, I don't think there's anything particularly sinister about it. No, it isn't Andy Ayres. He's gone back in the... Oh, yes, it is. Make your mind up. And a kick straight away because Jeff Butterfield was out of line. Yeah. Mr. Crashley there telling the player that he was in an offside position and he shouldn't tackle him. Good refereeing there by Mr. Crashley. Two or 3 minutes before half-time now. Mick Keebles coming up. Oh, loses the ball as he's about to pass it, and it's Keighley Hunslet now who'll get back, and Keighley caught offside at this side of the field. Keighley need to just keep themselves composed now, keep this lead intact before half-time. 2 or 3 minutes to go on the clock. And it's number 8 Steele again, driving forward, not looking to release the ball this time, just taking the ball in. Moves across there to the second row. Certainly James Lowe uses McKelvey quite a bit. Switch inside there for Mick Coyle, being driven back towards the 25, in fact beyond the 25 before the referee tells him he's held and play the ball. Jim Lowe loses that ball, dived on by the Hunslet player, backwards said the referee, so plenty of cover at this side. Oh, and the fullback's in the line here. In fact, has he given the try, the referee? I think he's in fact given a knock-on as the referee down there, but certainly Keighley were extremely lucky there, Jeff, not to have conceded a try.
Yeah, there was an overlap, and they'd only do the basic things right, and they were over, I felt.
Yes, it was a long ball that cut 2 players out that created that opening for fullback Campling to come into it. But he couldn't hang on to the ball, he dropped it short of the line, so it's a scrum down there, and ball comes out to Keighley.
Still there, I think.
Yes, yeah. Greg Hiley just driving this ball back towards the 25. Moses this time brings in Steve Hall. He runs, just dips his shoulder as he comes to the tacklers, gets 5 yards or 6 yards clear of his own 25. Out this time it's second row Carlton Farrell coming in to do a stint. Last tackle indicated by Mr. Crashley. Back to Keith Dixon, staying deep down, and full-backs at home this time. Picks that ball up on the first bounce, but he's tackled there by Paul Moses as he gets just outside his own 25. Steve Hall doing a good smother tackle job there, heaving him up towards his own line. In doing so, it's Hunslet then, and Keithley caught offside again at the far side, just creeping up that bit too quickly. Mr. Crashley's been watching over that far side for quite some time. Five yards then inside the Keighley half of the field. We make it time on the clock now. We're on stoppage time, and there's only been that little bit that I recall that when attention was required to Andy Ayres a few moments ago. Keighley 16-6 to Hunslet. Has the ball gone loose? Keighley recover the ball there, but it's been given as a knock-on. Rather a confusing decision there. Can only assume that he wasn't prepared to allow advantage so long. A little bit of going on here between the two scrum halves. Certainly Andy Ayres not liking something that James Lowes did, or vice versa. The ball out there. It's Andy Ayres. Gets it out to Dixon. Dixon across field to Butterfield, but he's caught in possession just outside his own 25. Mick Keeble's coming in. Tackle by Barcliffe. Greg Hyler this time making ground towards there, juggling going on as the ball comes loose. Fortunately, Keighley man recovers it. Certainly well into injury time now. Once more it's Dixon there to push that ball upfield to that far side. Three Hunslet players waiting there to get it. And it's number 3 there, Phil Stevenson, who effects the first part of the tackle. And touch judges on from that far side of the field. Penalty there then against Keighley for a punch in the tackle. Hunslet then. I think this timekeeper's watch must have stopped. You know, it's Brancliffe this time. And as I say, the watch has stopped. The hooter sounds for half-time. A very, very good half as far as Keighley are concerned. A couple of tries to John Walker, followed up by another try.
Down here, that's Keighley's second team versus Huddersfield's second team next Thursday.
Well, welcome back. Welcome back to the second half of this Regal Trophy first round with the score Keighley 16, Hunslet 6. And it's Keighley to kick off, and Keighley playing down the slope in the second half. The mist coming in a little bit, but at the moment conditions good enough for us to see the far side of the field, but it's certainly looking a bit foggy, and we hear that Northern's game was cancelled today because of fog, so obviously it's creeping down from the hills. Keighley floodlights, the new floodlights on, and that's giving a good light for us to see. And there goes a kick. It'll be a good one, but Wazilo will get it. Yes, Wazilo fields the ball, runs up, tackle in possession, but it's safe. And that was a bad play back, but it's gone back to Butterfield, and Butterfield will be tackled. I don't doubt that there's been some strong talking in the Hunslet dressing room at half-time, and equally the Keighley team will have been fired up to make sure that they keep this lead. That's Steve Hall there, run on the far side. And I think the game this afternoon could probably be decided by which team lasts the pace best, which is the fittest team, which is the team that is still tackling well in the last 20 minutes of the game, and that could be the crucial factor. And a lost ball there, and it should be a Keighley ball. It is. On the far side of the field, a mix-up there by the Hunslet players gives Keighley possession on the Hunslet 25. Now, can they do anything in the opening moments of this second half? Moses, pass to Hanford. Hanford makes a few good yards. That puts Keighley on the 25 line, pushes Hunslet back. Moses round the blind side. Keeble takes it, but can't get the ball away. Now the ball coming this way. Ayres, Hiley, back to Ayres. Ayres in the middle of the field, nearly got through there, and it's the 6th tackle. Out to Dixon, a kick through, and it's a knock-on. Kicks through, number 11, Mick Coyle gets his hands down to it, but knocks on. So it'll be a scrum down, Keighley head and ball, 10 yards from the Hunslet line and about 15 yards in from touch on this, the main stand side of the field. And that's a Keighley ball. And it's Moses, no, Keeble rather, around the blind side of the pack. And Keighley in a good attacking position. Now what are they going to do here? And it's Steve Hall who's trying to find a way forward, but the way's not open. A long pass, not a very good one. Ayres to Dixon. Dixon trying to find an opening, and the ball's loose on the floor, but it's a knock-on. So it'll be a scrum down, and this time it'll be Hunslet head and ball in a position about 20 yards from the Hunslet line and in the centre of the field. Packs go down, it's a Hunslet ball. Scrimmage half round the pack, but he's tackled. And somebody missed a tackle there, and that ball's still going on the far side of the field. A bit of bad tackling there. But eventually Keighley recovered. And the ball's still going. Keighley looked to have the player well. And it's a scrum down. Keighley head and ball. Scrum in the centre of the field. Keighley ball. And Ayres gets it, and he's lucky to get it because it came out at the side of the pack and a Hunslet player got a foot to it, so Keighley did well to get that. Nice little jinking run there by the trialist centre. He cut inside. Whether he should have gone out, I don't know, but at least it was a good little run. So it's Moses. Oh, Moses tries to get a pass in there, but it's just knocked back at the last moment by a Hunslet player, so that gives Hunslet possession. Hunslet on their own 25 line with the ball. And Keighley must now get back on side. Looked to be a gap there up the centre of the field, but the cover came across. Steve Hall spotted that one. And at the moment, Hunslet are keeping that ball among the forwards. But I don't doubt we shall have a kick soon. Well, there goes a kick. It's a good one. Finds touch right on the Keighley 25 line. So Keighley head and ball, but they're pushed back into their own 25. Now what can Keighley do this time? Can they get the ball cleanly? Well, it went straight in, it came straight out. Ayres tried to cut through, but there was nothing on there. And it's a free kick to Keighley. Somebody's striking in the tackle by the look of it. So Dixon will kick for touch. He does so. It's a good one. And that puts Keighley with the ball just inside their own half of the field. And Colin Hanford there finally pulled down with 4 men draped round him from all sides. And Steve Hall trying to find a way down the middle of the field. And he's held. Moses is having a run, and he's held. Out to Carlton Faddle, a nice run by Carlton Faddle, he's still going strong. He can't get the ball away. But it's the sixth tackle. Sixth tackle now, is it's going to be a drop? A point would be handy. No. Ayres, a kick through and a chase. Oh, and so nearly a knock on. But Ayres got there quickly and tackled the full back. So it's Hunslet with the ball back on their own line and Keighley offside, and this is what they must watch. Much too eager at that play the ball there. But a nice kick through by Ayres, who followed up at speed. So a kick for touch. Hunslet in possession midway between the halfway line and their own 25. Neither wings on either side have come into play in this second half yet. And a loose ball. And some keen tackling there by Keighley on the Hunslet players. A free kick to Hunslet, and Steve Hall and a Hunslet player in a nose-to-nose confrontation there. Obviously they don't like each other very much. Oh, and a kick for touch there, which really went anywhere but the right place, taken by the wingman. No, not the wingman, they've got a sub on of Hunslet. It was Andy Precious who took that kick. So I don't know who he's come on for yet, but certainly Hunslet have a sub on. And you work out yet who Precious is on for? We haven't spotted yet who's missing in the Hunslet team. But no quarter being given in this game yet, and both packs still busy banging each other. And a good save there by Jeff Butterfield on a kick through. And it looks as though it's the number 10 who's missing. Oh, and Andy Ayres running right across field there. If anybody had gone with him on the outside of him, that ball would have got moving there, I feel. And a good break there by Mick Keebles on the far side. It's getting a little bit difficult to see. In fact, I got from prompting there from John, which identified that player, but that was a good run indeed. Dixon, kick. It's a good one, it's a good one. It won't find touch, but it certainly pushed Hunslet back. Oh, and a good tackle there. What a good tackle. Has pushed Hunslet back to their own line. Now Keighley must keep on side here and keep Hunslet penned back down in this part of the field. Nearly 10 minutes gone in the second half of this game. And this is where Keighley need to be playing this game. And Hunslet have made undropped pass. And that decision wasn't very popular with the Keighley crowd. The referee says that the Keighley player pulled the ball out of the Hunslet player's hands. My colleagues don't agree with that one. The crowd doesn't agree. Only the Hunslet supporters and the referee are happy with that decision. So it's Hunslet with the ball on the halfway line. Now what are they going to do? Oh, and oh, so nearly a break. Yes. A break there, a good break by the number 12, Danny McKelvey. Puts Hunslet in a good attacking position. Now what, they're going to throw this ball wide. Oh, oh, and well picked up Wazilo. An offside Hunslet in the play of the ball. And this is where it just all wants settling down while everybody recovers their composure. And Keith Dixon takes his time wiping the ball before he kicks for touch. Everybody gets a nice little rest. And it's a good kick for touch. So Keithley with the ball. Midway between the halfway line and the 25. And it's Steve Hall who takes that ball over the 25 line. And some very good interpassing there. The ball goes to Hanford. Switched moves. Ball going in different directions. Ayres sees a gap in the middle and he's through. Wazilow has it, but Wazilow won't get away. But what a good move by Ayres, Andy Ayres. Andy Ayres quick, and if he sees that gap in the middle, he goes for it. And somebody's going to get pushed into touch here. And Carlton Farrell goes into touch, does he? Yes, Carlton Farrell goes into touch, or is it a free kick? No, it's a free kick. Some infringement there.
Carlton Farrell disputed the touch judge's decision.
And John tells me that Carlton Farrell disputed the touch judge's decision. I couldn't see that there. All I could see was a scuffle down by the corner flag. Well, this is certainly a game that's been full of interest, full of excitement and full of good rugby. And it's Hunslet still with that ball, still foraging away. The forwards still trying to find a gap in this Keighley defence. About 13 minutes gone in the second half of this game. And Hunslet with the ball on the halfway line. And a kick. Oh, it's a good one. Oh, it's a good one. Yes. Right in at the corner flag. Good relieving kick, and that pushes Keighley back. But it'll be Keighley head and ball. It's Keighley head and ball. And Andy Ayres is tackled in possession. Well tackled there by the second row forward. He couldn't get that ball away. Colin Hanford. Good run by Hanford. Good relieving run that. Moses out to Hiley. It was Keebles and not Hanford. Dixon a kick. It's only going over the halfway line, but that does at least put Hunslet back towards their own half of the field. Keighley must keep on side. And they weren't quite awake to that play, the ball then. And they must watch it. So Keighley still with this lead. Keighley leading 16 points to 6, 15 minutes gone in the second half of this game. And a kick through. Oh, and caught there by Mick Keebles. Very, very well caught indeed. Certainly broke up that Hunslet attack. And that's Hanford there. Good run by Hanford. Saw the gap. Saw that he could push the Hunslet team back. And it's Ayres trying to find a way through, looking for somebody to pass to, and nobody there, and he's lost the ball. Knock on. Mistake there by Andy Ayres, who should have probably kept hold of that ball, but he was looking for someone to pass to. And this referee at the moment's whistle happy. I don't know what all the whistles are about, but it's a Hunslet ball. Out. And that looked forward. That looked forward from here. The referee didn't think so, but we did. And we were level with it. And that was a well slipped out pass there. That was quite good. And this looks quite dangerous. Hunslet lining up with men in support. Loose ball. And the referee says play on. But really Keighley should have come out of that with the ball. I think they were a little bit slow or a bit unlucky. Oh, and a good, and it's Keith Dixon. Oh, it's Dixon. Goal! It's Dixon. An interception. And the referee what the referee's waving for, I do not know.
Could have been a penalty there for kicking.
And a pity Keith Dixon broke through, but just hadn't got the legs to make the distance. Now this is Keith in a good attacking position if they get this ball out. And this referee seems to have gone to sleep on the job at the moment. And Ayres was injured in that tackle, and it's Dixon again. Dixon tries to get the ball out. It's loose, it's anybody's, and it's a knock-on. At the moment, there's a player out. It's a Keighley player, and I can't see who it is. It's not Ayres this time. It's Stevenson at the moment. And the referee stopped play. About 16 minutes gone in the second half of this game. Keighley leading 16 points to 6 and camped on the Hunslet line, but it's Hunslet heading ball at this scrum. It's Hunslet with the ball. And that was a Hunslet scrimmage half who made some quite good ground across the Keighley line and then didn't release it when he had men in support and had an overlap on the far side. And at the moment, Hunslet are still trying to puncture a way through the middle. I don't think they've once moved that ball along the three-quarter line to the wingmen. And one feels that on one or two occasions they've had almost an overlap. Oh, and Jeff Butterfield made a mistake there. Went for the ball, went to put his foot to it, missed it completely. And it's a scrum down. Oh! And the referee says... The referee said that Jeff Butterfield touched it, and it's a Hunslet ball. The touch judge indicated a Keighley ball. That's round the blind side of the pack. So Hunslet in a good attacking position here. Are they going to score? Oh, good tackle there by Stevenson. A very good tackle. This Keighley defence is going to have to watch it now. Oh, and that looks dangerous. That does look dangerous. That was Andy Precious, a good run. He was a danger man when we played at Hunslet, and this looks dangerous. Yes, a try. A try, always on the cards when they got near the line. So this is putting Hunslet back into the game at a vital stage in proceedings. 20 minutes gone. Not a good time to concede a score, and in a kickable position. And it's Precious who's coming up to take the kick. So that makes it Keighley 16, Hunslet 10. And really Keighley could do with another score at this stage. Wide. So there's still 6 points in it. Keighley 16, Hunslet 10, 20 minutes gone. With 20 minutes gone, I hand you over to John.
Well, thank you, Jeff. And really, I thought when they're going to score that try, I thought Hunslet had taken the wrong options. They took the ball back to the left and then realised it had to be shipped back this side. They did so, and it finished up with Sampson going in. And really, that's what Hunslet has not been doing. They've not been spreading the ball. When they've had the opportunity, they've tried to go down the middle. And Keighley, we're going to have to be watchful now of this. They've realised that if they ship the ball, they can get it. So it's Keighley then coming out towards the 25-yard line. Andy Precious there, playing the ball to himself, not having a marker. Hunslet now 5 yards from the halfway line. Ball coming across this way, and and that's a drop ball there in a position that Alan Daniel had the opportunity to open the Keighley defence, but He couldn't hang on to it. Stevenson now taking that ball in field, getting towards the 10 yards line inside the Hunslet half. Ball come back inside, or outside I should say there to... Ball now going down the centre. Steve Hall taking it, having missed out Hooker Moses. Just short of the 25-yard line. Ball out then, Carlton Farrell going back inside. Carlton Farrell's going for the line, but he's dragged down 10 yards short of the line. The last tackle indicated by Mr. Crashley. And a drop goal attempt going underneath the bar there by Paul Moses. Certainly the right tactic on the last tackle. Try and get that point to take them 7 points clear. But unsuccessful attempt, so it's Hunslet now then, driving back out. Coming back up now, making headway is number 8, Matthew Steele. Certainly been the danger man from Hunslet, from Keighley's point of view in the Hunslet pack. Slips the ball in the tackle quite well. And McKelvey, another man who Keighley are going to have to keep an eye on. David Brook there, brought down 10 to 12 yards short of the line. I don't think he played that ball, but the referee quite happy about it. Lost the ball there. The referee, I think, is going to say it went backwards, but I suspect it's a knock-on. In fact, he has given the knock-on. But he was, in fact, in a very difficult position, having taken up position some 30 yards infield, marking the line where he wanted the Keighley defensive line to form for the play of the ball. However, it's head and ball to Keighley just inside the Hunslet half of the field. And certainly the two Keighley halfbacks this afternoon had an excellent game. Dixon and Ayres being the centre of everything. But how well also in this second half particular, sorry, in the latter half of the first half and most of this second half as McKeeble's come into the game. Moses then at acting half. Takes the ball himself and ducks through the first couple of tacklers before being brought down just short of the 25-yard line. Very elusive running there again, but eventually brought down. Keith Dixon gets that to Carlton Farrell. The ball juggled, but gone down. Farrell dropping on it. Very difficult conditions. The rain is actually coming down out there now, although it doesn't look to be from here. It certainly was raining quite steadily at half-time. Also quite cold, as you can see from the steam rising from the pack as ball comes out then to Hunslet. Daniel dragged down 10 yards outside his own 25, plays the ball. Ball coming out to this side. Tackling effected there by McKeebles and Stevens, I beg your pardon, Greg Hiley. And that was Roy Sampson cleverly using the Keighley player who was getting back into an onside position. Greg Hiley adjudged to have been offside there after the Hunslet player had played the ball to himself, believing that the Keighley man was not marking him. In fact, Mr. Crashley agreed with it. Certainly Mr. Crashley, I thought, in the first half had a good game, but he's been conned a couple of times this second half by Hunslet. Once when they lost the ball, supposedly, and he said he had it pinched, and then again shortly afterwards. However, it's Hunslet spreading the ball, but not able to hang on to it. It's obviously getting quite greasy, is that ball. As Precious effects the tackle there as Keighley come back out of defence and cross the 25-yard line. Steve Hall. Another powerful game this afternoon from Hall. Keebles ghosting his way through there. Looked to get the ball off to Moses, but unable to offload, so he plays the ball midway between the 25 and the halfway line. It's Dixon now with a kick downfield. Not going to go in touch. Just needs 10 yards before he can be tackled, but the referee quite happy that he'd been allowed that distance. John Vasilo there just marking the man who looked as though he might have been injured in that tackle. Fullback it was, Campling. Hunslet then coming forward. 16 points to 10 the score. 28 minutes gone. Keithley just warming the substitute. Paleli up on this side, near side. One wonders who he's going to bring off. As Hunslet run this ball round now, come round the outside, he offers that ball, but he's going into touch as this fella. Bundled into touch. In fact, it's Steve Hall. Well, there's a mysterious substitution to me. I don't know whether you see that at all, Jeff, but Steve Hall being substituted may just be carrying a little leg injury. I don't know.
No, he does look to be limping a bit as he's come off, and it looks as though he's actually well, he's not going off the field, but I think you're probably right. I think it's an injury of some sort.
Yes, he certainly looked to be carrying an injury on his right leg as he came out. But meantime, now there's a penalty to Keithley for the Hunslet. Loose forward, I believe, not packing down correctly, or not but taking part in the pack formation. That ball gone into touch just outside the Hunslet 25. Paul Moses then to take the tap, plays the ball. Number 11 there, Colin Hanford drives the ball in. Moses again at acting half. It's Keebles, and what on earth Mick Keebles is doing taking the second drive, I just don't know. A run around there as Paleli comes into the action. Must be setting up probably here for a drop goal if they're not going to work the move. Moses getting nearer the sticks now. There's no drop set up. Yes, in fact there is. There's Dixon with the drop goal attempt. In fact, it's over. That gives Keithley a 7-point advantage now, meaning that Hunslet have got to score twice. Something like 10 or 11 minutes to go. It was set up was that drop goal from 2 moves, 2 tackles before in fact it was taken. So then it's Hunslet to restart. Coach Paul Daly at the back of the stand here looking somewhat concerned. Although I must admit, when Hunslet scored the try, he ran all the way down the stand steps to the bucket to take the sand on and probably pass a few instructions on as well. And Keithley breaking down the centre. Oh, and that's a lovely break now. Has he got the legs? I doubt it. Oh, he's going now. He's still going. There's no need support. And it's a lovely try for Keithley. Is it in fact a try? No, but he can't get up and play the ball. They're laying all over him are the Hunslet players. In fact, he must have been offside there as they dived across. Held down there. Mr. Crashley absolutely giving the wrong decision there. That was a definite penalty to Keithley for laying on at the tackle. A professional foul, a sin bin offence, call it what you will. But certainly that was a very, very bad mistake by Mr. Crashley, in our opinion, up here. And that's not the first time he's done it this afternoon, because he did it before when Keith Dixon was laid all over as well, after the big break earlier in the afternoon. Very, very bad decision. Still, it's Hunslet now on the last tackle. They haven't cleared the 25. There's nobody back on this wing yet looking for the kick, although it's going far side. That ball's going far side, and is it going to go in touch? No, it's well taken. It's Jeff Butterfield then coming back downfield, running round, trying to get round, but it's almost a voluntary tackle there, but he's eventually brought to ground 10 yards outside his own 25. Keithley then midway between the 25 and the halfway line as Keebles looks for a gap but can't find it. Beg your pardon, that's not Mick Keebles. And there goes Dixon with another searching kick down into the 9-hole, but it's not going to get in not going to go into touch, isn't that? Fullback Campling there to take it, running round in circles, and there's nowhere for him to go. Eventually tackled. Keithley now need to keep Hunslet camped in this half of the field. There he goes again. That's Steele once more offloading in the tackle. He's done it 4 or 5 times. And there's his opposite helper, but it's Carlton Faddle who gets the ball. Unable to release that ball. 2 players injured there. Carlton Faddle injured. In fact, I thought the Hunslet number 11 Mick Coyle was injured as well, but it's Faddle who was injured in the tackle. Mr. Crashley indicating to Paul Dixon, beg your pardon, Keith Dixon, to take the ball infield and get on with it while the injured players attended to on this touchline side. 10 yards then outside the 25-yard line that belongs to Hunslet as Keithley come forward once more. Moses at acting half. The crowd behind the post are giving enthusiastic noises for the Keithley players as Stevenson gets that ball away. Lovely ball away, and that's up. Johnny Walker in for his hat-trick this afternoon, and what will surely seal a magnificent hat-trick of tries there for Johnny Walker. But how well the Keithley attack opened that Hunslet defence on the far side. Jeff, your comments on what was really yet another magnificent try for John Walker.
Well, it was, and of course all the 3 quarters had a hand in that, and how well the ball moved along the line. In fact, I don't think I've seen Keithley wingmen have so many chances for such a long time. And it's good to see the ball moving out so slickly and so well, and the wingmen getting a chance to show what they can really do. And Walker used his speed there to go in for another 4 points.
Thank you, Jeff. As we wait now then to see if John Vassalou can improve that magnificent try. 4 tries to 2 so far this afternoon to Keithley, which shows precisely the type of open, fast and entertaining rugby that they've been playing. Just eyes up the post then, wipes his boot on the back of his sock. Certainly studying this very carefully. It's a side-footed kick, and the way the crowd ends it, straight through the middle. Another superb conversion to a superb try, which puts Keithley now 23 points to 10 in the lead, and just over 5 minutes left on the clock. Hunslet have brought on a substitute. It's number 14, Andy Simpson, who's come on. I didn't see who went off. Believe it could well be number 4, Andy Barcliffe, but I'm not sure. Can't particularly see him at the moment. John Vassalou then just looks for a way around this ex-Halifax Rugby Union wingman. Stevenson taking the ball inside, gets a few more yards further forward. Paul Moses anxiously telling him to get up and play the ball, but Stevenson's injured, I think. Had the wind taken out of him somewhat there, as play now 10 yards inside the Keithley half of the field. Mick Keebles just does his little shimmy looking for a gap through, but not available there. It's back again for Dixon to put that ball downfield, back into the fullback. In fact, I do believe that's a substitute, is it, who's in the fullback position? It is Simpson who's taking over the fullback duty. On the Hunslet 25 then. 23 points to 10 the score as Paleli completes that tackle and he goes across and finishes off another one as Lowe almost gets through the minute hole that had appeared, and standoff there getting the ball out, and there again, look, the ball's up and offered by this man Steele. Every time he's tackled, he's turning and looking to release it. But picked up Precious there it was, who was tackled just inside the Keithley half of the field. Standoff there, David Brooke puts a high ball up to the far touchline side. Well taken over that side. That well taken by Walker. Certainly very strong player, quite confident. Looks as though he's carried an injury now. He's limping. Don't know whether the physio's seen him. Greg Hiley tackled on the halfway line. just inside the Hunslet half of the field, and Dixon once more puts that ball down into that bottom corner. Could well go dead though. Yes, in fact it's gone dead, and it looks like John Walker's been substituted. Heath Godfrey the man to replace him. The flag, the touch judge at this side with his flag raised aloft for the substitution. In fact, it's John Vassalou that's come off. Now that's surprising. That's surprising. I'm sure that wasn't the man who should have come off. I feel sure it's John Walker. In fact, there's a man short because John Walker's hobbling over there. Should be off the field, really, I suspect. And Keighley and Hunslet have spotted the fact that there's a gap over that far side. Oh, and that's an appalling mistake. And Mr. Crashley says the ball went back, though. So Hunslet still in possession over the far side of the field, just inside their own half. A sniffing position there, Paleli, looking for the interception, and he did the sweeping up job as Hunslet put that ball down. So it's Paleli now, midway between the halfway line and the Hunslet 25. Ball out there to Carlton. Farrell took it well. Struggling in the tackle to keep going, but he's going to take that tackle surely, as he does. 10 yards in from touch and 10 yards outside the 25. Stevenson then goes infield. He's tackled by Steele. Another boot flying about. There's more boots come off again this afternoon than I've ever seen before. Only a twisting time in the tackle there, but Keighley being given a penalty. And now the right man is going back on the field is John Vassalou, who was the man who was brought off by mistake for John Walker. John Walker being substituted and just announced that he's been given the Man of the Match award, and how well deserved it was for the strong finishing that he provided to score that hat-trick of tries, receiving the congratulations of Coach Peter on this touchline side. And in fact, that substitution just having taken place in time, because the penalty had been awarded to Keighley, and Vassalou has come back on and in fact will be taking that penalty. So then John Vassalou looks at the post as he tries to convert this penalty goal. It's through the middle.
Today's attendance, ladies and gentlemen, is 1,155. Keep it going.
Crowd announcement there of 1,100.
We are drawn away and hopefully we will win. There will be a supporters club bus going to wherever they have to go.
So then the PA system there just announcing that if Keighley are drawn away, they will take a supporters club bus wherever they go. One might say it could be premature, but with 15 points in the lead and the clock now showing almost 40 minutes, little time to add for injury, I would think. Paleli goes down the field, breaks clear, gets the ball out to Moses, but Moses is tackled 10 yards inside the Hunslet half of the field. Attempting to get up, but not being allowed to, but the referee not allowing Moses to milk a penalty. Ball released in the tackle there by Keighley as Carlton Farrell can't get away. He's hung on by the single leg by James Lowe. Keebles coming forward. Heath Godfrey, acting half-back, gets the ball across, and it's Keith Dixon there, puts an enormous ball up high, put the full-back under pressure. Everybody on side, in fact, driven over the line, but there's the hooter. The Keighley arms go up in the air. The supporters are tremendously excited. Carlton Farrell is doing backward flips all over the place. Super win for Keighley, 25 points to 10. Famous victory indeed.